What's going on, Jerome's? The NFL draft is nearly upon us. That means that Mel Kiper Jr., it's almost time for his Super Bowl. So Kiper released his final mock draft, version 4.0, looking at rounds 1 and 2. Of course, the Vikings don't have a second-round pick. Man, it happens. But the Vikings at 24, sticking and picking, taking an interesting name. And haven't seen Donovan Jackson in a lot of first rounds of the mock drafts. I respect him. There are some concerns, though. But frankly, I do put him and Donovan. I put Donovan Jackson and Tyler Booker from Alabama roughly in the same strata. So this is what Kiper wrote. Minnesota signed guard Will Fries. Got the fries all across your eyes. And center Ryan Kelly away from the Colts. It's a big improvement on the interior offensive line. Let's take it a step further. Jackson would place Blake Brandel at the other guard spot, and he has the versatility to kick outside if needed. He did so this past season when Josh Simmons got hurt for the Ohio State University. That seems relevant given left tackle Christian Darrisaw has recovered from a left knee injury. Jackson is a plug-and-play interior blocker with great agility and technique. He allowed 4 sacks over 40 career starts. The Vikings do not have a second-round pick, but they can find solid corner back at the end of round 3. Now, the only drawback against Donovan Jackson is that he never beat Michigan, and he damn sure never beat J.J. McCarthy. Hail to the... Not saying, I'm just saying. Yeah. And Jackson's draft profile, Lance Erline, NFL.com. NFL comp, Wyatt Teller. Certainly take that. Wyatt Teller throwing dudes out of the club in Berea. Love it. Overview. Broad frame 3-year starter with core power and leg drive to hold the line of scrimmage or change it. You can stick and sustain inline or second level and is a plus finisher. Jackson has the athleticism for all tasks as an outside zone blocker. He is also able to accelerate and lead the way on long pulls of counters. He leans against stunting, slanting fronts, and he can be a bit tardy in opening his hips and activating his feet for recoveries. He's long but punches with wider hands and struggles to consistently maintain his edges when mirroring. Overall, Jackson has the measurables, power, and movement for any scheme as a starting guard. Now, played a ton of outside zone in Ohio State's scheme, but also he does have the size and power for man gap. And 3-year starter at Ohio State, mainly left guard, but like Kiper mentioned, played some left tackle last year after Josh Simmons got hurt. And it wasn't as good as he was inside, and that's expected. A little bit shaky on the outside, but inside is where he is going to live. And Jackson, I think Jackson has a chance to be a plus player in this draft, but of course it's all about relative value. And the Jackson pick feels like you're drafting for need. You know, Gray Zabel went right ahead of the Vikings in the draft, but players that are still on board. So Malachi Starks would make a lot of sense in the secondary. LB3 if they want to go down that route, if they think that he fits in culture-wise. Kenneth Grant from Michigan would be great. Walter Nolan, of course. Derek Harmon went right before the pick. Siobhan Ravel is in that mix as well. Darius Alexander. I mean, there's a bunch of really good players left on the board. And if the Vikings don't trade down, and if they just want to groove a pick, I mean, you could do worse. That's basically what it comes down to. And Jackson, I do have my reservations. I do think that he does lean a little bit, and it does give me like Oli Udo flashbacks, a little bit of Drew Samia flashbacks as well. But Jackson, if he comes in, he's a rock-solid starter for the Vikings for 5+ years, wouldn't have any issue with it whatsoever. And the Vikings, even though that offensive line is sutured up, and I do think that Brandel, Rouse, and Jurgens will get a crack at the left guard spot, bring in Jackson where he doesn't have to change positions. He is a true blue left guard, was the number 1 guard prospect in his high school class before he committed to Ohio State, and has developed and accelerated from there. I think that it would be... It's weird because we wanted guard for so long, but if it went down this way with these players still left on the board, it would feel a little bit hollow, you know. But if Jackson comes in and is that dude for an extended period of time, you're gonna be right as rain, right? But that's it. Your thoughts are thoughts. Mel Kiper Jr. Mock Draft 4.0 Vikings. Don't want to say reach. A little bit unorthodox, but going for guard Donovan Jackson out of the Ohio State University. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull, production value.